Standby, roll, action.
Selamat datang di podcast RRI Bandar Lampung, tidak hari tanpa karya. Indra Julianta saat ini sedang bersama dengan seorang yang jauh banget, datangnya dari Belanda, dan ada sebuah apa ya bisa dibilang sebuah isu yang masih dia cari jawabannya sampai saat ini. Dimana orang ini ingin mencari orang tua kandung atau orang tua aslinya yang sudah lama dia cari. Karena kebetulan tamu kita kali ini adalah orang yang sudah lama sekali jauh tidak bertemu dengan orang tua aslinya, dan dia masih ingin mencari karena sebuah insiden pada saat itu, dan makanya kita akan coba cari tahu lagi, dan semoga dengan adanya tayangan ini bisa membantu dia untuk bertemu dengan orang tua kandungnya. Let's welcome Widya Boerma.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here.
Okay, and welcome to RRI Bandar Lampung.
Thank you.
And this is like a interesting story, but the other side is like a sad story.
It is both indeed. It's a very strange and
Yes.
very how you say complicated story.
Okay, and now I want to talk about how and what is the story behind of your phenomenon is like adoption and until you go to the Netherlands.
Yeah. So as I said, it has several layers and it's kind of complicated. But in short, is I used to live in Indonesia as a young child, and I think I was born in Yogyakarta. And I actually remember being in the Kraton, and one of my first memories is actually that I know how to kneel for the Sultan, and and also strange thing is that I was able back then also already to eat with like a spoon and knife and fork. So I was a little bit older than an average adopted child. And the second thing I remember is moving to the Lampung, moving to what I'm guessing is Metro, but I can't be 100% sure because I just have like a couple seconds images, like a photograph in my head. So what I remember is being here. I remember bougainville, the beautiful, colorful flowers. I remember the pineapple fields, and I used to run through the fields as a young child, just playing around. And I always cut my feet because the pineapple leaves are razor sharp, so I had small cuts in my feet. Um, and another thing, what I remember is also a woman who is exercising with her arms. And don't ask me why I remember it. It's just, I don't know why, but it's just a memory that got stuck to me.
Okay, can you remember how are you when you're in Lampung?
I think I had a very satisfying childhood here. And the only thing is, I do remember having like a mother and a father, but I didn't like my father. So my father was not a favorite person to me. And he went to the background actually quite quickly. But I also remember having a younger sister, and I know this for a fact because I told this actually to my Dutch parents when I got adopted, and they wrote everything down what I told to them back then. So my younger sister was named Nini of Nining. So yeah, and I don't exactly know what happened to her, and I don't even know if I remember her here or maybe in Jogja, but I think it was here.
Okay. And how about your brother?
I don't remember any other family members except for my biological mother, my father, and my sister. And I used to carry around Nini and feed her fruit.
Okay. So what was the trigger to start this search from the Netherlands until Indonesia, and now
Yeah,
you're in Lampung?
yeah. Well, the trigger was actually that I wasn't very happy for long time. I had a huge identity crisis because I did not understand myself anymore. There were too many question marks which did not fall in place until there was a Dutch television program from Zemla, and they brought to light that the orphanage which was into had a lot of trafficking going on, or suspicion of trafficking and falsifying of documentation.
So when did you start doing research?
I started in 2020, so I used to work for an intergovernmental organization where I met Tasia Teresa, and she became my friend. And in the beginning, she was really she found me really strange because hey, we have another Indonesian employee here, and she doesn't even talk Bahasa Indonesian.
Yeah.
So we got together.
Exact situation.
Yeah, so that's a very strange situation for her, but we became friends.
Yeah.
And when we became friends, I actually explained her what I experienced and talked about my memories from Jakarta. And there was one memory which is really for her special because when I was in Jakarta, I slept on the bridges with my biological mother, but also I remember a sleeping location with huge pillars, a huge like Greek pillars. Yeah. And I thought, oh, maybe that's my imagination, could be. And I remember there were like a couple of pillars. Yeah. I was sitting on the ground or maybe lying on the ground. There's this bright light up in the sky, and we are sitting on carton boards. I was very afraid because around me there were many homeless people. So, and I was a child, and I didn't like the situation. Later on, when I talked to Tasia, she said, "But the only building that it can be, that's the ceramic building of museum in Kota Tua."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the other building is actually the bank, which also has huge pillars, but that didn't fit my memory. So I googled it like lion. I googled it, but the bank was much too big, and the ceramic building, the ceramic museum was. I immediately remembered the whole front of the museum. And I still doubted my own story because I thought, why would we be there? Because this is like the old city of Jakarta, and it sounds to me like a very fancy place. If you go there now, it's a very touristic place. So I doubted myself until I heard from Tasia that in end of the 70s, it was actually a location for homeless people. So this was for me such an indication that many of my memories actually are correct, and it was some kind of a validation for myself.
What made you go and search to Indonesia?
Because I in the beginning of my adoption, I was so homesick that I've asked my Dutch family almost every day, when do I go home to my biological mother? When do I go back? And then, after so many years, I thought I gave up because, I thought, well, maybe this was supposed to be. And because of the whole malpractice, which went public in I think 2018, it made me think that maybe I am correct. Maybe I was not supposed to be adopted. Maybe, my biological mother didn't give me up, but was forced to.
And how was their response when you asking your biological mother?
For my Dutch parents,
yes,
it's actually very sad because if you imagine that you just adopted a new child, you're good parents. You want to take care of it really lovingly, but every day a child is asking, okay, when do I go back? When do I get to see my biological? That's really hard.
Yes.
And also for my mother, it was really hard. But she also realized that there's no way back. You can't send a child back again. There's no way back. So you have to move forward.
Okay.
Yes. But it was definitely
Do
very
they help you to search
Yes.
things for your parents?
Yes, they helped me very much because I grew up with a lot of homesickness and nightmares actually, because I had also experienced quite a bit of trauma. And to make it easier for me, they promised me one day when you grow up, we are going back with you and we're going to try to find your biological mother, but you have to be a little bit older than now. But then the next question was just like, okay, am I old enough? Can we go back now? So it was really difficult for them. But you know, in the end, it faded away. And then in 1991, they actually kept their promise and they took me back to Jakarta, and we did the whole touristic thing, of course. But we also went